Hello, Keith Rucker here at VintageMachinery.org. Thought I'd put together another odds and ends video for you guys this week. I've got several things going on and need to just give you guys updates on. Number one, the shop. We're moving forward on getting a ceiling put up in here, and just want to kind of give you an update on what we decided to go with and just kind of show you how it's going so far. Also, I've had several viewer mail items come in the last couple of weeks since we've done an odds and ends video. We need to work through those. Some really cool stuff there as well. So let's get going. Well, if you look right here, we've got a nice big pile of 1x6 tongue and groove beadboard that I decided to go with on the ceiling. Yes, totally different direction than what we originally talked about. I was originally looking at metal roofing material up there. I was concerned about that from the very beginning about noise, as far as reflecting noise, and a lot of you guys kind of helped influence me against doing that. Quite honestly, my second choice was going to be plywood. I went and priced plywood to go up on the ceiling, and but I also realized that if I went with the plywood route, I was going to have to hire someone to come in here and put it up. I just really don't have the tools and the labor that the people to come help me put up big sheets of plywood on the ceiling. It takes several people, and it's going to take a while to do it. And I was shocked at the quotes. I had a couple of quotes, and they were all pretty close to one another. But the labor was going to be about twice of the cost of the materials, which was not what I was expecting. When I saw that, I said, you know what? For what it's going to cost for the total job, it's about the same cost of buying the tongue groove board that I had priced, and this is something that I can pretty much do myself. It's going to take a little time. I say myself, I have to have some help doing it, but we're going with the tongue and groove. And I got my first order in here. Basically, there's a mill not too far from where I live that specializes in doing this kind of work. They bought the lumber, brought it in. It's already been kiln dried. It's pretty much ready to go up, but they went ahead and ran it through their molders, got it with the pattern on it that I wanted. And anyway, we got about 1,400 square feet right here. It's not enough to do the whole building. It's about probably more than a third, but less than a half, if my math is working out right, of what we're going to need. So anyway, we're going to get started putting this up. And let me show you what I'm going to do as far as staining it goes. So I'm using an oil-based stain to stain this with, and I'm using a Sherwin-Williams product. It's a pickled white oil stain. It kind of looks like a whitewash, which is what I wanted. I wanted it to be white so that it will reflect light, but I also wanted to be able to see the wood grain. So as you can see, it's just a real light coloring. It's not even a paint, it's a stain. And it's given a very nice look. I really like the way it's turning out. And this is gonna allow it to have that character of the wood grain while at the same time giving me a lighter color on the ceiling to help reflect light in the shop. And I have started putting some up. Got a couple of college boys out here a couple of evenings, and I went ahead and stained up. This is about all that I had stained. At first I got a quart of the stain, and just to kind of try it out, and this is basically what 1 quart covered. And we just went ahead and nailed it up. So I got some, like I said, a couple of college boys to come in, and we worked on this a couple of hours over a couple of evenings after work, and got started on it. And I really like the way it's looking. It's coming out looking very nice. We'll go ahead and probably get this whole first part over here done, and I'm still wanting to do a little work weekend. I've had several viewers say they want to come down and help, and we're going to probably do that here probably toward the end of October. I'm going to be traveling a lot here the next couple of weeks, but once I get that kind of past me and we can have time to get this wood stained so it's ready to go up, maybe we can have a day that people can come in and help out. So we've gotten started putting up a little bit of this wood. Got a long way to go just on this pile, and probably going to look at still doing some type of little work weekend. I've had several viewers who live in more or less in the area who have expressed an interest in coming down on a Saturday or whatever and giving me a hand doing this. What I want to do now is go ahead and get all this wood pre-stained. so it's ready to go up, and then we can hopefully come in here and have a good productive day putting this stuff up and have plenty of help and really hopefully get all this done in one day. That'd be awesome if we could do that. And once that's done, I'll have to go buy another load of lumber and stain it all and repeat. But hopefully we'll get this moving along. It's going to take a while. It's going to be labor intensive, but I think that it's going to be very rewarding in the end. It's going to be done really the way I wanted to start with, and it's going to be done right. I plan on being here the rest of my life, guys. And you know, I'm getting to the point where I really just don't want to cut corners. Yeah, I could have put up OSB and saved a lot of money, but every time I walked in the shop, I would have been telling myself, man, I sure wish I'd put tongue and groove up there. This way, I'm never going to have any regrets. It's going to be the way that I really wanted it from the very beginning. So anyway, probably, I don't have a date set on when we may try to do the little work weekend. Probably be toward the end of October. I've got some traveling coming up. It's really going to limit the amount of time that I can put forward in working on getting this stuff ready. But we'll get word out to everybody that's interested in coming well ahead of time so you can make arrangements. I also just want to comment right here while we're talking about the shop ceiling and publicly thank everybody again who has contributed toward my Patreon account on YouTube. And that is just a way that some people have expressed an interest in helping support the site, helping support the shop and what have you. And the money that we're bringing in on Patreon, quite honestly, is really what's given me the ability to go ahead and start moving forward on getting the ceiling put up. So thank you to everybody out there that has participated in the Patreon drive. And I'm by no means asking people to do that, but if that's something you want to do, there is a link down below that you can do it. Completely optional, guys. You're not going to hurt my feelings one way or the other if you don't decide to do that. And I realize not everybody can, but many of you have, and I'm just so thankful to every one of you who has contributed toward that, because again, it is allowing me to really get the shop going forward and getting it done right. So thank you very much to all my Patreon supporters. So a couple of weeks ago, I got an email from viewer Bob Teeter, and Bob wanted to get my mailing address to send me something. So I sent him my mailing address, and really he was kind of secretive about what he was up to. Kind of gave me some hints that quite honestly didn't really make a lot of sense to me about moving on, I think is what it was. But about a week or so later, UPS came and dropped off some boxes at the house, and Bob was kind enough to basically buy the stuff for me you've seen here. So we got a engine hoist to help with some heavy lifting. A lot of you guys commented on my lathe restoration. You didn't like me picking up all the heavy stuff, and a lot of you commented that I needed to get an engine hoist to do this. Well, Bob took it upon himself and actually purchased one and had it shipped to my house, which blows me away, guys. Absolutely blows me away. Additionally, he also got a little come-along winch puller here and a smaller chain hoist. It's kind of like a come-along, and this right here specifically to mount up here on the crane, the little jib crane on my Monarch lathe to pull chucks on and off. So it's got the crane. It didn't have the little lift on here. That'll just hook right there, and I can put an eye bolt in these chucks, these great big chucks, and easily pull them on and off. So Bob, wow. This is pretty amazing. You know, I get a lot of nice gifts, but he actually ordered some brand new stuff and just had it shipped right here to my house. And I had no idea what was coming until the UPS man came and left all this stuff sitting in my garage one day. Yeah, pretty nice. So thank you very much, Bob. I really appreciate that. That will definitely help save my back, and we've got some more heavy lifting to do in that lathe restoration once we kind of get the ceiling put up in here and I can kind of get stuff positioned where I can get back to work on that project. So thanks a lot, Bob. These will definitely be some things that get used in the shop, I promise you. And I'm looking forward to being able to do some of that lifting, because quite honestly, some of the stuff that I've been working on has been so heavy, I've been having to wait to get somebody to come over and help me just move something around. And now I can work out here by myself a little bit better. and more efficiently with some good lifting tools. So thanks a lot, Bob. So next item here is a piece of viewer mail that came in the mail to me this past week, and this comes from Charlie Romeo, who lives down in Rockledge, Florida, near the Cocoa Beach area. And Charlie wrote me a note, told me how much he appreciates and likes the channel and so forth. But as far as this item goes, he said this is a item that he picked up in a lot of things that he wanted at an auction. And the biggest center or biggest Morse taper tailstock he has on his equipment is a number 3 Morse taper. This is a number 4, so it was something that he really couldn't use, and I knew that I could use number 4 on some of my equipment. So he sent this along to me. So what it is, it's a great big center, live center to go on the tailstock. And you know, what's nice about this one, yeah, it's got a couple little places in there, but that's not a big deal at all. But what is nice about this is the size of it. This is, you know, kind of what I call a bull center. It's a big diameter, so if you got a bigger hole in something that you need to get up into to center up on the lathe, you know, this is a good tool to use to do that. You know, normally your center is just real small down here on the end if you're just going into a hole like that was drilled with a center drill. But if you say you bore a 1 or 2 inch diameter hole in something and still need to be able to center up on it, this is something that you can come in there with. This is something I don't have, at least not one this size. It's made by Marvel Company, and you know, this will definitely be something that we can put to use. It won't be something that gets used a lot, but man, when you need it, you need it. And this is definitely going to be a nice addition to the arsenal of tools. So Charlie, thanks a lot for sending that along and thinking of me. Appreciate it very much. And like I said, this is definitely something that you'll probably see being used at some point in time whenever the right opportunity comes along. Appreciate it very much. So next item here, guys, we actually have another live center that came in. This one comes from Don Piles. And Don actually stopped off at the museum and to see me a couple of weeks ago. He was on his way down to Florida for vacation and was driving through Tifton on the way down and contacted me, and it worked out that I was in town, and so I actually met him out at the museum. Him and his wife stopped by and had a chance to visit me there in the shop for a few minutes, and he brought along this nice, looks like a brand new live center Morse taper number 4 again. And a similar story here. He bought a lot of machinery, or a lot of tooling or whatever in an auction, I guess it was, and this was in there. And he, the biggest lathe he has is a number 2 tailstock, number 2 Morse taper. And again, knowing that I could use this, he was kind enough to stop by the museum, visit with me, and drop this off to me. So this is awesome. We will definitely put this one to use. You know, that last one, remember, it went up to real big. This is more in line of what you would normally see for a live center. So you would just drill a little small center hole, put that up in there. And this one right here will probably become my more day-to-day use live center, and then we'll use that big bull center on big holes when the opportunity comes up. So Don, it was great getting a chance to meet you, and appreciate very much you thinking of me and dropping this off to me on your way down. So thank you very much. So next item here, or items, is going to be a whole box full of goodies, and this one was pretty exciting and fun when it came down. So again, this one comes from Dave Grimble. Dave was passing through Tifton, going back and forth. I think he's in the process of moving and making a lot of trips to the area. We've been trying to hook up for a couple of his trips, and it hasn't worked out. But it finally worked out. We were able to hook up, and he had a whole box full of all kinds of goodies that he dropped off to me. So let's go through these and show you all the stuff in the blue box, plus extra stuff here. Pretty cool. So first thing, we have a really nice 50 taper horizontal mill machine arbor. I think this is 1.25 inch. Yeah, 1.25 inch. Made by Cincinnati. Good, nice quality brand for sure. Comes with the running bushing as well as a bunch of spacers on here, ready to go. And it's a nice short one. I've got some real long ones. I've been actually looking for some shorter arbors So this one here is going to really fit the bill and help me out. So I haven't put it on the mill yet to see how true it runs, but I have no doubt it's going to be in good shape. So anyway, this will be a very nice addition to the horizontal mill. This is kind of cool too. So in this big sleeve here, what we've got is a nice drawbar that goes on a horizontal mill. So this right here actually goes through the spindle on the horizontal mill, and it's what goes in the back of the 50 collet chucks, or not collets, but 50 adapter tooling holders to tighten them up. And the nice thing about this one is that this large thread here is for a 50 taper. The small thread is for a 40 taper. And so if you can use an adapter, and I have one that goes from 50 to 40 taper, you can actually tighten up 40 taper tooling in the 50 taper machine. So this one is dual. You know, this was something I think Adam Booth ran into not long ago. He was trying to use an adapter that had this smaller thread in it, but his drawbar wasn't built like this. So this would be very nice. The drawbar that's on my horizontal mill has seen its better days. And quite honestly needs to be replaced, and now I have something to replace it with. So another very handy item there to use on the horizontal mill. So now to the box of goodies, and the first thing in here, this is really cool to me. This is a catalog number 10 from the H.D. Taylor hardware company in Buffalo, New York, and I think it's dated around 1920, if I remember right. I found a date in here the other day, 1925. So this is cool because when you open this up, it's got everything under the sun. I've actually got a couple of these hardware catalogs from different places from back in the day, you know, and these are just cool. So, you know, here we're looking, these are all Starrett tools, micrometers, chisels, hand drills. So, I mean, it's not just metalworking. You got everything under the sun here. This is an old-time hardware store. You know, this is the hardware store that I would have given anything to have been able to go into back in the day, you know, that just doesn't exist anymore. Look at that great big fan with a cast iron pedestal on it. Wow. That would have been awesome. There's just so many cool things. Power hacksaws, line shaft coupling, hoist. You know, I'm just picking random pages here. There's cabinets, safety glasses, wheelbarrows, shovels. I mean, everything under the sun. Blacksmithing tools here. So condition isn't the greatest in the world, but that doesn't matter. The content's in awesome condition. And I am looking forward to just going through this old catalog and wishing that I could order some of this stuff, particularly at the prices that they've got them in here. So, you know, just crazy, crazy stuff. Here's a Starrett bench block, $2. You know, wouldn't you? If I could find something like a used one on a table somewhere at a swap meet, I'd be buying it up at $2, and that's what it's sold for new. Cool. Nice little box here. Open it up, and we have a nice Starrett back plunge indicator. The indicator actually appears to be in good shape. Spring looks good. It's going back to 0 every time. You know, it's got a little bump and dent in it, but no big deal. It works. Got all the accessories in here. This is a neat little set. You know, there's your little deep hole indicator that goes on this particular one. Clamps, mounting rods, the whole 9 yards, and you even got, what is these? These are little level bubbles. I don't think those came with this indicator set, but those are kind of cool. So anyway, nice little set here, and like I said, it's ready to go. I don't even have to have it worked on. Another cool item here, big face mill for the horizontal mill. Insert tooling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 inserts in there. I'm not sure what insert that is. I was looking at it earlier. It's got 4 faces on each one, and the one that's on here looks like it's seen its better day, but the other ones all look new. So I should be able to flip those over. I need to try to figure out what insert that is. If anybody has a suggestion, I'd appreciate you letting me know. Don't know what the story is on this, but I'm sure that we can use it. I noticed that they got a big X on one of these, so I kind of wonder if that particular tooth there may not be out, but if it is, no big deal. You just take that one off. And you know, the way I'm going to be running it, so what if I only have 11 cutters instead of 12 on there? We'll check it out. I'll have to, I think I've got some 50 taper tools that these fit up onto. I don't know if I got one that was correct for this particular one. I'll have to dig around in there and see. Very, very nice face mill. Let's see, some tooling here. So looks like some kind of big end mills. This may be a Brown and Sharp taper. That may be a Brown and Sharp taper. It doesn't look like Morse tapers. It's definitely tapered. And a lot of these older milling machines use a Brown and Sharp taper. And I kind of think that may be what that is. It says number 9R. I don't know if that's the taper size or what. Anyway, got that tooling. Micrometer desktop, pretty cool. It's made out of brass or bronze. Fits on the ways. He told me this actually will fit on the Lodge and Shipley lathe that we have at the museum. So, and of course you can adjust this. It has a true micrometer on here. So what you do is you'd clamp this down to the ways and you'd bump the carriage up to it when doing some type of repetitive job. And if you need to make a fine adjustment, you don't have to get an indicator or something out. You can just dial it in by the thousandth of an inch with this micrometer dial. Pretty cool and nice accessory that we don't have for the Lodge and Shipley. So that's pretty darn cool there. Have no idea what that is. Got a bar here with a bunch of holes in it. It's got a counterboard holes. I suspect this may have been a jig of some kind for some production job, but we'll put it in the pile. You never know when it'll come in handy. This is kind of neat. So this is takes a number 2 Morse taper, has a center on the end, and what you could use this for is if you had a lathe that say only was a number 1 Morse taper lathe, but you had some number 2 Morse taper tooling, you could run a center up to this end on this side, put your drill bit or whatever in here. This little stop would go up against something to hold it, and it would allow you to use a bigger Morse taper than what will fit into your machine. So anyway, kind of cool, made by Scully Jones. Got a couple of grinder arbors here. This is for a surface grinder. I'm not sure if these will fit my surface grinder or not. This is the more standard size. Mine is a little bit bigger surface grinder. But I haven't actually pulled my hub off yet to see if these might fit on my hub. But these are nice because you can actually set wheels up. Instead of taking the wheel off the arbor, you just pop the arbor off the taper, put another one on there, and you can have multiple wheels set up. I think he said that, see, that one is, no, they're the same. I thought he said one was left hand and right hand, which wouldn't have made sense. So again, I'm not sure if these will fit my surface grinder or not. If not, this might be some trading material because I know some other guys would really like to have these. I need to pull mine off and see what I need for my grinder. I got some woodworking tools. There's a bevel gauge and a couple of marking gauges. These are kind of cool. You can go in and use this to find an angle on something that you're working on. You set it and then you can bring this back and it's set up kind of like a square. So used mostly woodworking, although it could be used in metalworking too. And then some marking gauges. Again, these are some woodworking tools, and these appear to be in good shape. This is kind of cool. So these are some compasses, like an old pencil draftsman would use. And there's 2 sets of them here. And I'm kind of old school, as you know. I learned how to do drafting work when I was in high school. I actually took a lot of drafting classes pre-computer age when everything was done by hand, drawing stuff. I've got a compass set, that I use in the shop all the time for laying stuff out. And these are some really nice old compass sets that is much nicer than the ones I have. This is kind of neat. So there's, like right here, there's 3 compasses. One of them is set up, this is for inking work. So you would actually dip this into ink like you used to, the old quill, feather quill or whatever. This one has 2 points, it's just a divider. This one has a pencil lead in it. You got, again, dividers and compasses in here, so on and so on. You know, in the age of computers, people don't use these very much, but when I see these old compass sets, I can't help but pick them up because, like I said, I use them in the shop for laying stuff out all the time, mainly because I learned how to be a draftsman, and I can lay stuff out on wood or metal just like I used to draw stuff when I was drawing blueprints in high school. And a good compass set really makes that a lot easier. So pretty cool. These are made in USA too. I don't think the set that I have was made in USA. Looks like a homemade, this is a dead center. It's not a live center, it doesn't spin. So this looks like a number 5 Morse taper, kind of coarse turning. But this would have probably gone up into the headstock on the lathe for like turning between centers. Don't know what I could use that for, but you don't know what you might need it for one day. We'll put it in the pile and who knows what may come up and need it for. So got a couple of boxes here with some little collets in here. So these are Brown and Sharp number 00 spring collets. There's some brand new in the box. There's some loose ones here. I'm not sure exactly what that fits. We also got this collet, a couple of these in here. I can't read it. I'm not sure what that is. I don't think I've got anything to hold a number 00 spring collet, but I may need to find something. These look like they could come in handy. Got a nice selection of different sizes here. And as we get down into the bottom of the box here, got some more cutters for the horizontal mill. There's a whole selection here. Look at this joker. Great big one. These are actually like, they're high-speed steel, but they're inserts. You can change these out for some heavy-duty milling, and there's just a whole miscellaneous selection of horizontal milling cutters in here. And like I said before, you can't have too many of these things because you never know what you're going to need until you need it. And then if you got it, you don't have to go find one. That's a pretty cool one there. Look at that. Big, you can't see it there, but big round one cutter. That's an interesting one too. Kind of like a face mill, but smaller diameter. Anyway. So Dave, thanks a lot for all the goodies. This is really exciting. I got some fun stuff to dig through here and play with, and definitely some good things that we can put to use for sure. And awesome getting to meet you. Like I said, Dave stopped off at the museum on one of his trips down to Florida. We were able to hook up and chat for a few minutes. He was in a bit of a hurry, so we didn't get a chance to talk very long, but enjoyed the brief visit, and definitely am going to have a lot of enjoyment with all the goodies you got here. Thanks a lot. Well, that'll be a wrap for this episode of Odds and Ends. Guys, as always, I appreciate you watching all the way through, and appreciate everything you guys do. Comments. Let me just make a comment on comments because I'm getting overwhelmed with comments here lately. Please don't stop. I read each and every one of them. And one thing that I've really prided myself on up to this point in my channel is that I try really hard to respond to each and every comment so that you guys know that I'm reading them. The channel size, I've almost hit 75,000 subscribers now. And just the sheer quantity of comments that comes in on the videos, and the amount of time that I have that I can sit down and read through those. As bad as I hate to do it, guys, I'm probably not going to be able to respond to each and every one of them. I do read each and every one of them. I promise you I do. And probably what I'm going to do is, you know, if you're just commenting, hey, great video, appreciate it, thank you, whatever, I'm probably not going to respond to it. It's just a time management thing. If you ask me a specific question, I will probably do my best to try to answer those, and you'll see me responding to comments. But I just can't respond to all of them. And I really, really regret that. But like I said, it's become overwhelming to me. So I hope that you will understand that and appreciate that, but do know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I am reading each and every comment that you guys write. It is something that I look forward to, is reading those comments, because it really allows me to connect with my viewers. Some of you guys who comment very regularly on my channel, I feel like I've gotten to know you, even though I've never met you. I wouldn't know you if I met you on the street. You know me because you see me, but I wouldn't know you. But because you comment so frequently, I really feel like you've become a friend. And that's a very special thing to me, and I really do appreciate all your comments. So please don't stop, but just understand that I'm not going to be responding to all of them. So leave those comments, share the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll talk to you guys in the next time.